Hey, welcome to the basement. Today, you're going to learn about your Persepolis Assessment. As exciting as that is, first thing we should probably do is just some schedule housekeeping. We are here on April 14th. We finished reading the text today. We are also going to finish the group presentation that we started together on Friday, and then my hope is to maybe just hang out in the meet for a little bit for a little post-graphic novel discussion. The assessment is assigned today, and you're getting that assignment now because it's a part of my video instructions today. Tomorrow is targeted instruction day. You will be able to have some time to work on the assessment, which is really small. All you're doing is picking something for it for Friday. So it is probably better served as a journal work day, making sure that you have an entry for each of the reading assignments, plus maybe an extra, not in the requirement, but to round out your work, or maybe give you one more to choose from for putting on the Padlet, which I'll be visiting later in this video as well. On Friday, you're going to be working on the assessment in a little bit more robust fashion as you begin planning your outline document, that same outline document that you have used for every other assessment since we had a full idea of what the individual oral looks like. But the specific requirements of the Persepolis outline we'll go over when we go over the assessment instructions. Let's talk about the journal, which is down here in good old 6.9. This due tomorrow, which is for reading number 6, will be updated with a due date far, far out into the future, meaning next week. I won't be collecting a complete journal from you guys until after the assessment, giving you that chance to round out your journal with an extra entry, or maybe even replacing something from earlier that you're not as happy with. I won't be looking at this until deep into April break. That's it for journals, although I want to go back to the share out space and talk a little bit about how to use it now that it is filling out. So especially since here we are in the day where you're going to learn what the assessment is and have to pour back through the graphic novel for important moments. Maybe Will here has highlighted a moment that you want to take a close look at, and maybe some of Will's ideas would be valuable. You can click right on it. So you don't have to try to use the Padlet in this format. You can open the image right up, and there is yet a further step where you can click this open a new window, which gives you the opportunity to zoom in and be able to read your classmates' work more closely. So again, if you spot a panel that is interesting to you and maybe you can't pick that out, you can open it in a new window and zoom in for a better look. All right, so looks like there is some work beginning to be present here, and just lots of good thoughts and ideas being noted for you to return to, panels that you might want to revisit or reread. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the format of the assessment in maybe a 1 to 2 sentence overview, and then I'm going to open up the assignment sheet. I'm probably going to do some reading from it with it up on the screen share. So I know that'll be dry, but at least it will cover all the details. But before we go to the details, just a general overview. You have practiced the IO format from the Master Herald unit. You made an outline form for the first time. Then for the Chronicle unit, you spoke it for the first time. Then for the Castellanos unit, you compared two works for the first time. And now we need to add the element of, after you finish talking about the text, I will be asking you a question that you haven't heard based on what you have told me. And what you have told me, I also haven't heard. So I'm in this model as well because I need to practice asking those questions. So this unit will end with another I/O where you will do a very small presentation. The meat of this particular unit's assessment will be practicing getting that discussion question back from me and answering that. So let's go to Google Classroom and look at the assignment sheet. It's going to be posted here, which is also where this lesson will be posted, this video. You are going to prepare a brief commentary on a page of the graphic novel and its connection to a specific global issue. Approximately 2 minutes. Consider this brief commentary to be a stand-in for what will eventually be the 10-minute maximum oral component of the coming I/O. Our focus for this assessment will be practicing the skill of reacting to the discussion question you will be asked after you conclude your commentary. Like all I/O practices so far, you will be commenting on the following prompt. Examine the ways in which the global issue of your choice is presented through the content and form of the panels of your choice. So what has been highlighted by this particular prompt when it says the panels of your choice, that's the big old light bulbs that says, if I'm going to do my job properly for this text, I'm going to remember that it is a graphic novel. And so if it's a graphic novel, I should be using the analysis that is expected of someone who has read a graphic novel. Other than that, global issue, that's the same. The close examination that class discussion activities and journaling have asked of you so far this unit will be a helpful resource. No reason you can't choose a page and panels that you have already used for other work as a starting place. So, to make it super clear on the screen, there is no reason why you can't use one of these excerpts that you have already chosen and commented on to make your assessment easier for you. Your chosen panels will be declared and shared ahead of time. Just like any other I/O practice, we will be mimicking as close as possible the practices coming into your commentary with a clean copy. You will be provided a way of putting your chosen excerpt on file. That is this assignment, which will be given the due date of this Friday, 7:55. You will be telling me your panel assignment here, your panel choice, I should say. I've decided to just keep it pretty loose. So if all you want to do is tell me the page number in a Google Doc and submit that Google Doc here, that's fine. If it maybe helps both of us, you think, to actually do a scan of your chosen panels and upload them to that assignment, also great, maybe even better, but I'm going to keep it pretty casual here. I didn't want to build one more Google form for you to fill out. Just turn it in on Classroom here, either through a fresh Google Doc, a private comment, or maybe cropping a scan of the graphic novel if you have that technical acumen. All right, let's head back in. So, the graphic novel interpretation of 40-line extract is whatever feels equivalent to that standard. So that's exactly what it says in the IB guide to us as teachers for how we're supposed to explain this to you. But what we are saying here is less is more. For this assessment, pick no more than a panel or two. You only have 2 minutes. So to try to do an entire page with thoughtfulness without kind of just blasting as much stuff at the listener, you're really going to want to just talk about a single argument from a panel or two. This year, In remote learning, we're going to use Flipgrid to recreate that call and response. You give the commentary. This is where I am in the document. After I listen to the commentary, I provide a discussion question, and then you respond to the question. We'll talk about that more down here in the timeline. If the unit activities have highlighted a specific technology or performance issue you have with this expectation, now is when we have to begin problem solving and communicating. That's what it says on everybody's assessment who is a junior in IB English 1. But I have really good news. You 18 have been fantastic at submitting Flipgrids and attending Google Meets. I don't expect Flipgrid to be a problem. You guys have handled that with aplomb. To that end, you will see 2 assignments in PowerSchool, both drops in the bucket. One says this Flipgrid, the other says that Flipgrid. One I gave content knowledge points, the other I gave communication points, and that's me acknowledging that at least one of these Flipgrids you represented either strong knowledge of the text or a capacity to communicate at a professional level. So I think with 5 points, I don't really need to go in there and figure out some nuances of those numbers. You just deserve that drop in the bucket to recognize the work that you have done. All right. The thing that will be different is that Flipgrid does actually have some restrictive controls, so I can make it less casual. You won't be able to see each other's responses. I will remove the fun stuff like stickies. We'll keep it pretty serious, but Flipgrid will work really well for putting all our stuff on file. Here is the timeline. Today, day of the last Persepolis reading, we are rolling out the assessment, and your homework is to declare the panel of your choice through that Google Classroom assignment. On Friday's assessment work day, you're going to prepare this assessment outline form. You can link it here, or you can click the link to look at it, but you're going to be given a copy of this new Google Classroom assignment on Friday. So really, this is more for my benefit than yours. Because you'll have until the following week to complete that outline form as homework. That means that next Tuesday, we are here now. That is a class day where you get the whole of the thing to click that record button in Flipgrid and get your official response. So you get a chance, unlike the final individual oral of the year, you get a chance here to get it right. But keep in mind that that's not really the full assessment here. The full assessment is going to be your discussion performance. All right, so the best way to explain what's going to go on here is to head back to the calendar. You record your assessment here. I start opening those Flipgrids as I have already earlier in this unit. Probably this Wednesday is a great day for me to do it. You will receive my question response. So it says response, but it's really my question back to what you recorded here. Your discussion response is due at the start of class on this very last day before April vacation. During class that day, we will do our 6th learner portfolio reflection, and then off you go, another unit down. I'm thinking that's plenty of time, and so part of the 17th here, I feel like there's some more debrief on the novel as a whole to do. We can start class with that, because with it being homework, you'll have plenty of time. The rest of this is the rubric that you have already seen before. So there you go. That's class today. Goes like this. You've watched this video to get a detailed rollout of what the assessment is and understand what your homework is for Friday. But that's not actually what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're going to finish the group presentation that we started on Friday, get that done, And then we're going to move to the discussion questions. And I want to see if I can move to those discussion questions right in the Google Meet and maybe just spend the day hanging out, debriefing the novel. We'll see how that works. The Google Meet today will be started pretty soon after 7:55, because once you watch this 15-20 minute introduction, we'll spend the rest of the class in the Meet. Tomorrow, Wednesday, you will use that time to shore up your journal and choose your panels. And then on Friday of this week, you'll start working on the outline form.